Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Email me directly for pricing, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2019. This is the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Worldtimer, and it's everything its name implies. 43 millimeters in stainless steel. The watch is 14.2 millimeters thick, 50.1 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and the spacing between the lugs is 21 millimeters. We'll take a look at the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it wears well, comfortably, and surprisingly thin for what it is. It's also short enough across the wrist that I can recommend this watch for any wrist of 15 centimeters circumference or larger. It looks great, it feels great, and I would happily wear this piece, which has a wonderful grandeur to it that sets it apart from the standard diver 300 meters and Speedmaster Professionals in the catalog. This is one of the most interesting watches that Omega makes. Okay, the strap, the hardware, and the software. There are a couple of different ways to get this watch. You can get it on leather, rubber, or bracelet. I like it on the rubber strap. You can see there's a cross-hatched center pattern, a lightly contrasting sort of cyan stitch, not necessary because it's not two elements bound together, but it's a nice styling accent. You can see there's a little end piece that blends the metal of the case into the profile of the strap on the underside. There's a little bit of a ribbing pattern to lift the strap above the wrist and aerate better. You can see that the strap is an Omega factory strap in brand new condition. And then we've got a buckle that is alternately polished and satinated for elegance, and it has a twin trigger release so it can't pop open accidentally. You have to press both the triggers. Inside we have a little cradle that gobbles up the excess length of the strap and then tucks it underneath the strap so there are no minder loops and there's no excess length visible once this is sized down on your wrist. So it's a very secure clasp, a handsome one, and an elegant fully buckled strap with no length flapping in the breeze. It creates a clean look on the wrist, and the watch an imposing stance on the wrist. It is a large timepiece, make no mistake. 43 millimeters is definitely knocking on the door of oversized, though there's an elegance to it. As you can see, it has satination that runs longitudinally, blended lugs, those double beveled inner and outer beveled lyre style lugs with an expanding polished bevel on their edge. The crown, as you can see, is media blasted outboard with a polished Omega logo raised in relief, and then there's knurling on the side. It's a sharp knurling, so it's easy to grip. It is a screw-down crown. The watch is 150 meters water-resistant. Conical polished steel bezel. A dial that has a couple of different elements. We have those applique dart-style indices, which, curiously, along with the hands at center, use an ecru loom that's almost fauxtina, but because this isn't a vintage-style watch, I think it's just a nice, warm, complementary color being used. Then we have city reference rings outboard. The ones that are in silver denote cities where summer and winter time are used, so you have that 1 hour difference. London, of course, in red, that's GMT. And then the cities that are in light blue, those are cities that do not use alternate summer and winter time. We have this blue metallic sort of deck structure. You can see these striations that run down from the top. That is the legacy of the Omega Teak deck concept dial. Here you see the planking runs from top to bottom as though it were the teak deck of a yacht. This is the Aqua Terra, which is the watch equally at home on the deck of your yacht or in the ballroom of the yacht club. It is the Surf Turf Seamaster family. Via laser ablation, we have at center an image of, sort of a projection of the world as seen from the North Pole. And then we have a 24-hour reference ring with a silver and dark blue element showing you where it's day and where it's night. So the way this works is I can change my current time by moving the hour independently, and you can see that the date will actually jump forward or backwards as I do this. Note the watch is still ticking, but I can pull the crown out all the way. Now I've activated stop seconds, and you can see as I set this, the inner 24-hour reference ring also moves. So what you want to do is set it up so that once you are looking at your local time on the center dial, you can then look at the name of the city anywhere around and look at the adjacent hour, and you can see that, for example, in Tokyo, it is currently 4 in the morning, even as it is 7 where I am. And you put 24 cities on the dial to correspond to 24 primary time zones. There are more, there are offsets that are not complete hours, but this watch does not concern itself with them. Let's quickly take a look at the loom shot, which is surprisingly good. Ecru colored loom isn't always bright, but here it is, and it's easy to see. Taking a look at the case back. This movement, the 8938, is only used in this model. It's derived from the 8900, so 2 barrels and a 60-hour power reserve, bidirectional automatic winding. We have a full balance bridge with a free sprung index for shock resistance. We have an anti-magnetic escapement and a silicone hairspring, so the watch is anti-magnetic to over 15,000 Gauss. It is effectively amagnetic. It beats away at 25,200 vibrations per hour, which is the swatch group convention for any watch with a silicone hairspring. It is a master chronometer, which means it's been tested to the ISO 3159 standard that governs the COSC, but they go beyond. This is a standard created by Omega and the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. It tests chronometry in 6 positions, not the standard 5. It's a test of the fully assembled watch, water resistance, shock resistance, anti-magnetism, chronometry, winding efficiency, power reserve. It's a full battery that tests the watch in all the ways that are relevant to the user, not just a chronometry tester. It pivots on 38 joules, and as you can see, it features this machine-finished spiral arabesque Côte de Genève with blackened screws, a distinctive trait of these Omega movements. We have an direct and indirect impulse, tangential contact escapement known as the coaxial escapement, invented by George Daniels in 1974, industrialized by Omega in 1999. It helps to improve short-term precision, long-term timing stability, and also helps to extend the service intervals of this watch. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.